skies. We're watching our skies tonight as well. They're smoke-filled and they're impacting the view of the sun. This one coming from Brian Priest. This is in Sanpete County near Mount Pleasant. Now, this was not sunset or sunrise, but you look at that orange and red ball in the sky. You know, smoke scatters light and it makes these colors a little more vibrant. There's plenty of smoke in Sanpete County and the surrounding areas, and our fire danger remains high. So we know those conditions when it comes to wildfires continue to worsen. Our threat tomorrow extends all the way to the eastern side of the state, with the Uintah Basin and Book Cliffs seeing an elevated fire threat, and then all through central Utah and the southern portion of the state. As we look at our highest wind gusts, those southwesterly winds have been problematic since the weekend. We haven't seen much relief. Those bigger numbers in the West Desert, Salt Lake, part of that, it aids in warming our temperatures, which we saw as those numbers really climbed. Looking at humidity, we know that we've got very dry conditions, single digits in several locations. Teens, not great. Now, we usually see this number recover into the overnight, but when we don't, it leads to red flag warnings, which is what we have out there. These red flag warnings have been extended and expanded, and we know that the conditions are going to continue as we make it through even Saturday for the Central Mountains and the Color Country Mountains. Now, most areas will see this expire at 10 p.m. tomorrow night. We will see it during the day in eastern Utah, but it's the south central portion of the state that we will be dealing with this through the weekend. Great video coming from Scott of downtown Salt Lake City. All the hustle and bustle of the midweek. There it is with fairly clear conditions, but then that smoke moved in. Thank you, Scott, for sharing that with us. Temperatures tonight are sitting in the 80s. The Colonial Flag Tower camera showing that light breeze coming from the southwest. Here's a look at our Black Desert Sky Cam. It shows those numbers here that we were dealing with. As you look at those clear conditions, the sun going down, and the temperatures made it into the low 100s. Mild out there with the 70s and 80s. We hit 100 in Salt Lake City, triple digits sneaking out in several locations. Now into the 70s and 80s, 90 degrees in St. George still. Along the Wasatch Front tonight, well, we're dropping in Park City. If you're looking for cool spots, Tooele at 75, Park City at 70, low 80s. In places like Ogden. Over the next several hours with our clear, dry conditions, you're going to see these numbers in the low 70s and then building back with plenty of sunshine as we head into tomorrow. Southwesterly flow in place. Last few hours allowed for a few storms in southwestern Wyoming, but we just don't have the moisture potential in the Beehive State. Very dry and staying that way. Great time lapse coming from Farnsworth Peak. Look at that smoke. Okay, so the thicker concentrations of smoke, you watch how it kind of lifts as we make it through the day. That time lapse tells the story. Thicker smoke settles towards the surface as we lose the winds, and of course, as soon as we warm up during the day, warm air rises and we start to see that smoke a little more dispersed, but it was bringing impacts air quality wise and visibility wise along the Wasatch Front. As we head into tomorrow, the thickest plumes on the eastern side of the state. Monroe Canyon fire pushing that for the Wasatch Back as well as Castle Country all the way into southwestern Wyoming, and then the fires in Arizona moving that smoke over Lake Powell, south central Utah, and on the eastern side of the state as we head into our Thursday. The West Desert clearer, but that's where our fire concerns are as we continue to dry those fire fuels. Moderate air for tomorrow. Elevated particulate matter as well as ozone, southwest flow expected to keep Tooele clean, forecast to be in the green. Very dry as we look at our future cast. Not a lot happening. The moisture uptick is minimal at times. Here we are by tomorrow evening. West Wendover may see a passing storm, but the model's backing off tremendously as we just don't see an uptick in precip potential. Checking out as we head through Friday and into Saturday, we really don't see much change with the forecast. That high pressure is driving the bus, low pressure staying above it, a very well-defined ridge, and that stays out of the Beehive State. The southwest flow bringing the fire danger, and even into early next week, we don't really see the changes as this strong broad ridge dominates the desert southwest, brings those temperatures near average, and keeps us dry. We're going to kick off August with dry conditions. 90s for tomorrow, 101 in Moab, 103 in St. George. Looking at the next 7 days, we've got hot, dry, and windy conditions in the south. Seasonal temperatures along the Wasatch Front. You're going to see those 90s. 93, 94, close to where we should be, which is 95. No precip in sight. Sorry to leave you hanging there at the beginning.
I was like, where'd Alana go?
Hanging on his every word.
Well, I was just going to talk about the turbulence on and on and on.
I mean, I felt like I was feeling it in my own world. No, I'm telling you, I was looking out there at that smoke. It gets you every time, but it's wild.
Dana.